Yo, what up, YouTube? It's Iron Rashad back with another video. Now, this video may stir up the pot a little bit. It may be a little controversial, but y'all know that's what I bring to this platform, to this world, whatever. Just make you think a little bit. Now, today we're gonna be talking about the slave mentality of Black people and how we've become controlled by money. It's a lot of people talking about how Black people are being held back in many facets. It's this thing of racism out there that some people want to address and some people don't want to address. Some people want to act like it doesn't exist, or some people want to act like it does exist. And I always tend to think the answer is usually somewhere in the middle. You got to find, that middle ground, you know what I'm saying, to understand the true answer of things. And here's how I see it, the whole state of Black people. You look at situations like what went on with Shador Sanders. All that is, you're not going to outshine your master in this system, right? What Shador and Dion was attempting to do was outshine their master. And they're smart, they're smart. So I'm pretty sure they'll navigate the game and, they'll make it work if they're smart. If they're not smart and they keep trying to come in here like they bigger than the NFL and they bigger than this and they bigger than that, the NFL gonna play them. Next thing you know, he gonna be out the league. But I think they're smart. Dion, he played in the league, so he knows how the league is. And I think the league wants a player like a Shador. But anyway, you look at the NFL, a clear racist league. You can go all the way back to the Kaepernick situation, many situations, and the NFL, they have like damn near a zero tolerance, because they have a bunch of old white owners. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes was around during the Jim Crow and all those things, and I'm pretty sure they still have similar views of so-called Black people. They don't respect you. You're their slave at the end of the day. I tell y'all, we're all still slaves, and people get mad at that. When you look at the NFL, the NBA, slaves, you're slaves. The slave master, your master, is the owners. The owners run the plantation, and each NFL team is a plantation. Now, how they've gotten the so-called Black people is this. Now, we can go all the way back to the NBA, right? When the NBA first started, they only had white players, but nobody was interested in it because it was boring, right? It was a boring game. Nobody ever talks about the late 40s and the 50s, early to mid 50s, when the NBA was all Black. When the NBA was all white. It wasn't until they allowed Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, they started sprinkling in a couple of niggas, not a whole lot. They had to test the waters first, right? They started sprinkling in some niggas, like, all right, we can allow a few niggas in. They used to have I believe it was called the ABA, All Black League, or All Black Association, something like that. It was a league for all the niggas. And then they had a few, chosen niggas that they will allow in the NBA. And then eventually, when they saw that the ABA, I believe is what it was called, was damn near more popular than the NBA, they was like, all right, we just got to bring all these niggas over, because they saw the amount of money we can make them. Because it's not about, rather we're better or rather we're not. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm going to just say we have a different style of play. We're more explosive in an athletic style of players, and that's typically more entertaining. Would you rather see somebody, would you rather see somebody with a 50-inch vertical jumping out the gym, dunking on niggas, blocking shots, running up and down the court? Or would you rather see somebody fundamentally sound, shooting threes? It's just more entertaining, right? So as we look at what these leagues are doing, I think it's a lot of blatant racism that is shown in the sports, bro. You look at the NBA, bro. is double standards. Like players like a Nikola Jokic or a Luka Doncic. You know, that's their golden boys right now. That's their Larry Bird right now, right? They make excuses for these players that they wouldn't make for black players. Like, say, for instance, LeBron James. They didn't give LeBron no passage, no leeway. They would never say, oh, it's because of help. And when they would say it was because of help, people would say, oh, you're making excuses. Now we see Nikola Jokic and Luka, they make excuses for them. They be like, oh, they don't have enough help. They don't have enough this. They make excuses for their defense. When players like James Harden, they ran James Harden's name through the mud just because he didn't play defense. But he was such a great offensive player. You know what I'm saying? It'll get ignored a little bit, but let me get to my point because I don't want to just ramble off. I want this to be a quick video. It's a lot of racism in the league, a lot of double standards. You know, the NBA, it's obvious that with the rule changes, they made those rule changes to make it easier for Europeans, non-black players to thrive. When they got rid of hand checking, when they started changing certain rules, when they got rid of the post game, when they got rid of the mid-range game, what players were thriving with this type of play style? Black players, right? And it was working. It was entertaining, you know? So they took away that style of play, you know, that kind of gritty, you know, doggish, kind of animalistic style of play when, you know, you're attacking the rim or you're playing through the post. You know, that takes a certain level of athleticism to thrive in that type of play style, or you just got to be super big, you know? So my point being, bro, we've gotten to this point to where in sports, the players are clearly disrespected. The players are clearly viewed at a slave level. It's clearly double standards. They pick and choose, you know, what players they want to prop up, what players they want to promote, what players they want to criticize. They don't let you speak your mind as a black player. As a black player, you got to go along with the agendas. You got to push the agendas. Here's the thing, bro. Here's why black people get no respect. It's because everything that is happening has been allowed. We're allowing it to happen, bro. You know, we're allowing the racism in these leagues when we know we're the ones that bring them the majority of the money. Imagine if all the so-called black players say, you know what, we're not going to play for the NFL anymore. You know, we're going to start our own league, right? A lot of blacks aren't going to do it because you're not going to make as much money initially. But watch how the NFL just completely falls off if all they have is white players or let's just say non-black players. Say all black players say, you know what, we don't like how we're being treated in these leagues. But they're not going to do that because they're paying you guys so much. They know how to control a nigga, right? That's why Deion Sanders, they don't want a nigga like Deion, bro. Deion gonna break or Shador. Shador gonna break the structure, bro. You supposed to be a slave, nigga. It's like it's like if a slave on a plantation knew how to read. They will unalive that slave. Why? Because if one slave knows how to read, now he can teach another slave. Now each one teach one. Now all these niggas know how to read. Now all these niggas are starting to plan and plot and communicate. We can't have that. So a nigga like Shador, you put him in the league, you put him on the plantation, he's like, hey, slave, look, you know, you've been doing it like this, but we could really do it like that. We don't have to do it like that. You know, they're nothing without us. We make them the money. They can say they changed our lives. We can say the same thing. We changing y'all lives too. We making y'all billions. You know, the shoe fits on both sides, bro. It's two sides to this coin. You know, y'all not gonna make all these billions without us on the field, bro. So a nigga like Shador coming in saying, oh, I don't want to get drafted by this team. I don't want to get drafted by that team. I want this to go this way. I want that to go that way. You can't have a nigga outsmarting the system. A nigga outsmarting the script. Now niggas that start outsmarting the script. You can't have that. It's a certain script. It's a certain program we got to go by. This is entertainment, right? We can't have you niggas controlling this shit. We control this shit. We control the referee. We control the whole game. You're just here to be some eye candy, you know? But when the referees start blowing on whistles, ain't nothing you can do. When the referees start manipulating the game, ain't nothing you can do. When the coaches start manipulating the game, ain't nothing you can do. It's a few people in the know that can manipulate these games. Why do you think they always have a headset on? They're in constant communication, right? They're in constant communication because it's a script they have to go by. And they all have to be in communication and abide by the script. So if you get a nigga that is smart enough and that can see through the script, you know what I'm saying? It can shake things up. That's why Shador, they had to put Shador in his place and make him wait all the way into the 5th round when he should have easily been a 1st round pick. Because they had to show him like, nah, nigga, you're not bigger than the league, bro. If you're going to come to our league, if you're going to play in our NFL, we don't give a damn how much money Dion and them got. You better be subservient just like the rest of these slaves, or we're going to get your ass up out of here. That was his warning. That was his warning. And I'm pretty sure if Shador wants to play in the NFL, we're going to see a more laid back. And Shador is humble. They act like the dude ain't humble. He always giving praises to the Most High. He's a humble dude. He's just confident. But they hate that. Now, if you got the complexion for the connection, you know, if you're white and you know, Joe Burrow, some people say he was cocky. They love Joe Burrow. Johnny Manziel, they say he was cocky. They love Johnny Manziel. Aaron Rodgers, he was cocky. They kind of don't mess with him no more. But they used to love Aaron Rodgers. Now, if it's a white boy and you cocky and you let everybody know about it, they love that. But if you a nigga, oh, you better not be cocky in front of them white people. You can't be no nigga with no confidence. They look at you like a peasant, like a slave. You know, you just here to entertain us. It's like back on the plantation. Sometimes they'll let the slaves go on the front punch or out on the field, and they'll have them entertain them by dancing, by singing, by playing sports, right? Play baseball, play football, play basketball. But once it's over, nigga, the next day you back picking that cotton, you back washing these dishes, you back doing the work, bruh. You know, that's all they look at you as, a form of entertainment, bro. And what they've learned is how to control a nigga. You got to pay them, right? If you pay a nigga some money to do some shit, he'll do anything, right? Until black people start moving by a code where money can't control us, we're always going to be under control, bro. It's black people that beg for reparations. What's reparations going to do for niggas? Say all black people got reparations today. What's that gonna do for niggas, bro? You think niggas gonna come together and put something together constructive? Hell no. All that money's gonna go right back into the system. All that money's gonna go right back into their pockets, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna help our community as a whole for all these people begging for, where are 40 acres and a mule? Where are this? Where are that? They're not gonna give it to y'all. Because they know exactly how niggas are when niggas get money and niggas ain't never had no money. Go to the hood and they've seen it. They brought niggas out of the hood that ain't never had no money, guaranteed them millions of dollars, and they seen how, bro, the majority of niggas that lead the NFL, NBA be broke. Because they ain't never knew nothing about money. They ain't never knew nothing about credit. They ain't never knew nothing about none of that. They got that first check, they hitting the club, they hitting the mall, all that shit. They buying their whole family cars. You know what I'm saying? They living the life. But ain't nobody want no financial advisor, want nobody saying like, hey, one day this money gonna slow down. You can get hurt one day, or anything can happen. This money not forever, nigga. You better start making some investments. Want nobody there to tell them to start making some investments, right? They know how niggas are when they ain't never had no money. When they get some money, niggas gonna blow that shit. So what they gonna give you reparations for? What they gonna give a nigga reparations for? We got bigger problems in the black community than reparations, than a handout. We don't need no more handouts, bro. They already gave us food stamps. They already gave us government assistance. They done gave us handouts already, bro. That's not the solution to our problems. The solution to our problems is a spiritual and a cultural issue. We got to get our families back under control. We're too worried about everybody else and what everybody else is doing. And it's a lot of black people. You're not even speaking to your family, bro. That's the real issue. You can't even have a conversation with your mother, your sister, your cousins. It's a disconnect within the families, bro. That's the issue. Because a strong family, that's how you thrive. That's how you build a business. Family business. All these major corporations are family businesses. Walmart, family business. McDonald's, family business. Burger King, family business, bro. So when you destroy the family structure of so-called black people, how we going to build a business? How we going to come together in unison, as in unity, and work together as a team? That's the problem with niggas. See, if niggas was to get together and really start putting thoughts together and working together as a team, well, we don't even need the money. We just need to use the money that we already have and start putting it to better use, bro. You know, boycotting certain things and actually standing on business. We don't stand on business as people. Black people be outraged for 1 to 2 days when some shit break out. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. All they got to do is throw some sports in your face. All they got to do is throw a different Netflix movie out. All they got to do is drop a different movie. Niggas gonna forget about it. Just like that. Just like just like in the days of Rome. You know what I'm saying? Distract niggas with what was it? The Coliseum. They had all type of shit going on in the Coliseum to distract niggas from what was going on. Same shit going on today, bro. So my thing is, bro, until niggas want to come together, bro, until you can come in the black community and feel welcomed and not hostile. Why we feel so much hostility around each other? Why we don't feel safe around each other? I'm going to tell you what niggas going to do. You give them reparations. They going to buy up a bunch of guns, a bunch of substances. And they going to be running amok, bro. They know better than to give niggas some money like that, bro. I just wanted to get that quick thought out the way, bro. Like, it's a lot of people, you know, talking about the state, especially black people, bro, talking about the state of where we are. This video is more geared towards black people. And, bro, the main thing, man, we got to work as a team, bro. And we got to get our families in order, bro. That's really what it's going to come down to, bro. Like, if we want any respect, bro, I believe and this may sound, whatever. This may sound Uncle Ruckus type timing, but, bro, I believe we got to bring back segregation, bro. Like, real talk. A lot of people scared of that shit, bro. But during the segregation times, nigga, black people were way more respectable than they are now. You know? They softening up our men, got everybody goddamn high and drunk. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point of the crack epidemic, nigga. You feel me? Like, you know, they had to take us out of that state of reality, bro. That's the main trick that they played on black people. Taking you out, making you cope with things and making you less likely to fight back. Right? Making you more willing to just sit around and cope, and that's why so many niggas just whining and complaining. Oh, we don't got this. Oh, we don't got that. That's how they want us, bro. That's how they want us, bro. Whining and complaining like some females, bro. They don't want us out here like men, bro. They don't want us out here standing on business, bro. That's what they don't want, bro. They want us out here like little children crying and begging for a handout, bro. And until we as black people be like, you know what? We don't want nothing from them people, bro. That's when we become a threat. We was a threat back in the segregation days, bro. And that's why they had to change the system that's why they had to bring in civil rights and all of that to bring us back within the fray, because we was breaking away from the fray. We was like, all right, this how y'all gonna treat us? That's why they was doing, you know, they was blowing up churches and doing all type of crazy things to us, bro, because we were really rebellion, bro. We were really rebelling, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they don't want, bro. They don't want us to have that rebellious spirit. They want us to you know what I'm saying? Be subservient, bro. They want us to be subservient. That's why they give us all these drugs and all that to keep us subservient, bro. Servants, slaves. That's the whole thing, to keep us subservient and slaves. So until and that's what I'm saying, segregation may not be much of a bad thing for black people, bro, because we forgotten how to work together with each other, bro. You know, we forgot how to barter. We forgot community, bro. Where's the community, bro? We got to build that back up, bro. You know, we've gotten away from our culture, spirituality, our God. That's why we in the state we in right now, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? So as long as black people continue to be the main consumers on this earth, but at the bottom of every economic chain, you know, as long as we continue to, you know, have all these children out of wedlock and, you know, have all these broken households, you know, as long as our men, you know, Continue to walk around here super angry and super aggressive. Now, ain't nothing wrong with having anger and aggression. You know, a lot of kids, you know, they put you on pills and stuff like that to kind of, no, that's your natural state. You're supposed to have a fiery spirit. You just got to know how to control it. As a man, you're supposed to have that fire. You're supposed to have that aggression. You know, how you going to control the situation with no fire or aggression? Are you going to respect the coach that's like, "Hey guys, run 50 yards, please. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings." Or are you going to respect the coach? "Hey, everybody on the line, 50 yards right now." Right? Sometimes you need that base. You need that that's how you lead. You can't lead nothing being all docile and high and drunk and soft. You got to be on time, but you need that aggression. That aggression is useful. That's why the Most High gave us aggression, right? But you can't use it to your detriment. You just can't be out here, you know, just being aggressive for no reason. Now you're just being emotional. Now there's no logic behind your aggression. But if your aggression is used in positive ways, then it's good. It's good aggression, bro. But man, we 20 minutes in, bro. Hopefully y'all get the point I'm making, bro. Black people, we've sold out for money, bro. That's our problem, bro. I'm gonna continue to say that, bro. We've sold out for money and we're still slaves, right? We've sold out. Think about this, bro. We've sold out for money and we're still slaves. Every celebrity, all them slaves, bro. I promise you, every athlete slaves, bro. That's why a lot of athletes be alcoholics, be weed heads, all type of shit, bro. Because you gotta cope. You got to cope with the fact that you're making all this money, but you still don't control your life, bro. You making all this money, but you still don't control your life. You still got to follow these niggas' rules. You still got to watch these niggas do wrong right in front of your face. You still got to watch these niggas be racist right in front of your face. What went on with Shador was just racism, bro. But you're not finna outshine the master. Even if they gotta make it blatantly obvious that this is racism, drafting players that ain't on his level, bro, ahead of him. Just purely racism, bro. Because you got a black man with confidence, with a father. Oh Lord, don't let it be a black man with a father, and a good father at that. Oh hell no. We can't have that. That's not the agenda. We need that single mom. You know what I'm saying? We need that single mom boy from the hood, mama's boy from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Desperate, getting it. We need that. That nigga gonna do everything we tell him to do. Right? That nigga not gonna rebel. That nigga not gonna think outside the box. That nigga gonna worship me as his white daddy. You know? That's what these owners is looking at. They don't want no nigga like Shador. So they gotta break Shador down. You know, Shador, he a little too threatening right now. They got to break him down a little bit and let him know who's boss, you know? Nigga, yeah, you Shador, yeah, you made all this money, nigga, but Dion in a position that he in because of us, nigga. That's how these owners looking at it. Y'all still ain't shit. That's how these owners looking at it. Yeah, Dion, you got all these chains, you got all this, and you gonna floss in front of me, nigga, but the way these owners looking at it, nigga, I gave you that. And the way Dion looking at it is, nigga, I earned that. But at the end of the day, you played for these niggas' league. So at the end of the day, if you want your son to play for these niggas' league, right? Now, people wouldn't have no problem with Dion and them moving how they moving if they had their own shit. Yeah, pop your collar, tuck your shit, flex your guns, right? But you're not just gonna be flexing and telling these niggas what they finna do and what they not finna do when in their eyes you still the slave, bro. You still coming to join my plantation. They don't care how much money you got. Right? And like I said, bro, we going to see how this unfolds. I'm pretty sure, like I said, Dion, he played for the NFL. He knows how the game is played. You know, if he really is serious about wanting Shador and Shiloh to have a career, you know, them niggas going to dumb shit down a little bit. They going to play the game, bro. That's what you got to do. You got to play the game until you don't got to play the game no more. Until you done made enough money to where you can go get you a podcast, start you a little league, and duck off somewhere, right? But until you make that money, you got to play their game, bro, or else they going to snatch that money from you. They going to snatch some opportunities from you. They going to give that opportunity to somebody else who may not be as good as you, but they more subservient than you. Same thing when you at a job. It'll be a nigga that know more than the manager, more than the supervisor. You know everything. You too smart. You too much of a threat. We gonna promote this nigga that don't know shit. We gonna promote the nigga that don't know shit, don't got shit, before we promote you. Because that nigga that don't know shit, don't got shit, he ain't gonna question none of our policies. He ain't gonna question why we doing this, why we doing that. He ain't gonna be bringing new ideas like, yo, we should start doing this like that and that like this. No, he just gonna, whatever we tell him, however the system is set up, he gonna follow it and he gonna do it. Because he just happy to be here. But when you a nigga and you not just happy to be here, you feel like you deserve to be there, they call that entitlement. They call that cockiness. When you worked and you earned it and you confident in your ability in your abilities and what you know, and you're smart. They don't want niggas like that, bro. Pay attention, bro. Pay attention, bro. But the niggas with motherfucking baby mamas and felonies and all this, hey, y'all welcome. We need y'all niggas. That's what we need to promote. We need y'all niggas in the league. But any nigga that's smart and got a little power behind them, oh, hell no. And this is going to set an example for all the other NFL players who may have a son and they son may end up getting good. Like, hey, nigga, if you don't play by our rules, we going to Deion your ass. We going to Shador your ass. Could have been a first-round pick. You know, could have went to a team and they sent that boy to a team with 6 quarterbacks, bro. So now all them niggas going to have to grind and get it out the mud and fight for position. And these teams usually only keep 2 to 3 quarterbacks on the roster. So at least 3-4 of them niggas getting cut. You know, hopefully Shador ain't one of them 3-4 niggas that get cut. I don't think he will be. I think that on that Browns roster I think they still got Deshaun, but he out for the season. You know what I'm saying? He should be able to make the final roster. I think he's good enough to make the final roster. But they ain't making no easier for him. You know? And it was to send an example to any other NFL player or any other black nigga that may have some money and you got a son and he can play. Hey, nigga, if you want to play in our league, you going to play by our rules. You know, that's what the message was, bro. That's why they had to break him down a little bit. Even though he still got his shine, he still got his confidence, but they definitely broke him down a little bit. That's why that NFL team leaked out that number. Yeah, they blamed it on his son, but I'm pretty sure it's deeper than that. But they gonna blame it on his son because that's the easy way. You're not gonna blame it on the higher ups. Like how did this son get access to this information? Like they ain't gonna tell you the real story, but they gonna blame it on the son because that's the safe way to do it. But what they did when they prank called Shador, uncalled for. You know. I know this video may seem all over the place, bro. It may be all over the place. But the point of me bringing up the shit in the NFL and the NBA is just to show y'all, like, bro, we're still slaves in this whole system, bro. Like, if the top athletes in the world, think about this. There's only so many. I forget. I think each NFL roster holds like, what, 50 players, something like that? 40, 50 players? So you only got some hundreds of people in the NFL. That's the point I'm making. You know? Each NBA roster has like 15 players. You know, it's 32. It's 30 teams, I believe. Yeah, it's 30 teams. It's 30 teams. 15 in each conference. Right? 15 times 30, whatever that is, bro. 300. It's 300 and some people in the league, bro. If they're getting treated like this and they're what you would call an elite class, what do you think the regular, everyday, average nigga is going to be treated like, bro? You know? As long as we clock into their jobs, their plantation, we got to follow their rules, bro. We got to follow their rules. Now, they had a token blackies, you know, the franchise player, or for the regular, everyday, average nigga, that's the dude at the job where you know, you they token blackie, you know, you can do a little bit of everything. They can rely on you. You they franchise player, right? So you may get a little perks here and there, you know. You may get a little bit of favoritism. You know, a lot of people don't like to hear things like that, but hey, it's a lot of favoritism going on in these jobs. Same way in the NFL. They gonna show some favoritism to the better players. You best believe it. Cause you don't want you don't want your best player to be like, I think this other corporation is treating their players a little bit better. I'm gonna go over there. And now you losing money, you losing fans because your token blackie done left. No, so that's why they give you perks. You know, they sweet talk to you. They you know, they make you feel important, right? But my closing point, bro, my point in saying all of this, As long as we continue to play in their leagues, the NFL, the NBA, whatever, we will always be a slave in their eyes. And this Deion Sanders situation proves it. The Shador Sanders situation, Shiloh, proves it. Even though Shiloh, you know what I'm saying, he a solid corner, but he wasn't on the level of like Shador. Shador was like top 5 QB in his class, top 3 QB in his class, bro. You know what I'm saying? That was just them sending the message like, nah, nigga, I don't care how much money you got, nigga, this still our shit, bro. We still head honcho over here. Y'all niggas can be talking all that shit, have all that jury, but when you come here, nigga, you follow our rules. And Shador and them, they gonna follow their rules, bro. Like I said, Deion and them is smart, bro. Deion them played in the NFL, bro. You know? So I'm pretty sure they're smart enough to see, like, all right, nigga, if we want to make things easier. Same thing with LeVar Ball. What did LeVar Ball do? He got the message when the media was continuously attacking him. What did LeVar Ball do? He disappeared. You ain't hear from LeVar Ball no more. And next thing you knew, once LeVar Ball disappeared and was quiet, now Lonzo start doing better. Now LaMelo get a big contract. You know what I'm saying? They like, hey, you got to play by our rules. We don't want no loud, boastful, braggadocious, confident father. You got to go sit down somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no father pumping that belief and that confidence in their child. At least not mainstream. You got to go sit down somewhere. Right? We supposed to be raising these niggas to be single mother raised, desperate, and willing to do anything for $1, nigga. We can't have no king mindsets around here. No, go sit down somewhere. Any nigga with a king mindset, you got to go sit down somewhere. A ruler mindset, you got to go sit down somewhere. A nigga that don't see you as above them, see, that's the problem. Shador, he don't look at the NFL and them, Deion and them, they don't look at the NFL as above them or better than them. They like, hey, we hot shit too. You feel me? And the NFL just like, hey, man, they just had, it was a pride thing at that point, bro. You know, they had to show their dominance, bro. You feel me? And like I said, these niggas gonna have to follow their rules, bro, to a certain degree. Unless you finna start an all-black NFL league, and niggas ain't gonna do that, because first of all, niggas ain't gonna give up that money, right? That's what I'm saying. This system got to get broken down, bro, right? Because niggas have become too pampered. From top to bottom, they've become too pampered. That's why the product is suffering. That's why the NBA product is suffering. You got players, they not playing the full season. They not as competitive because you done gave them all this money. They don't care no more. Back in the day, them niggas weren't making money like that. Back in the 90s and the 80s, they weren't making money like that. That's why the league was so competitive, nigga, because, nigga, I'm fighting for contracts. I'm fighting for shoe deals and this, that, and the third. Back in the day, they was fighting for shoe deals. Nowadays, everybody get a shoe deal. So nigga, these niggas don't care. I'm go out here, go get my buckets, go put up my empty stats. LaMelo Ball type vibes, go put up my empty stats, win about 15 games, go make my money and live my life. Nigga, they don't care about the game no more, nigga. They done got that money, bro. You know, so that's the thing, bro. The whole construct got to be broken down, bro, because niggas have become spoiled and pampered and weakened, bro. You know, at the end of the day, man. But, man, I'm going to slide up here, get this video out. I just wanted to get this out before work. This is just on my mind, man. But one day the day will come. We just not there yet. Right now, we in a time of servitude, bro. You know, we in a time of servitude from top to bottom, bro. But we can break out of it, bro. But like I said, or like I'm going to say, it's like we're under a spell as people. We're under a spell, you know, and they got you under a hold, kind of like a coat does, you know. They got you under a hold to where you don't want to leave, right? To where you don't want to give up the money, the cars, the houses, even though you're being mistreated. And like I said, it's like these model women that be in these relationships with these billionaires. They tired of getting abused. They tired of being verbally abused, physically abused, but they just can't see themselves being a normal person. They just can't see themselves giving up all them millions. All them Versace bags and this, that, and the third. They just can't see themselves being a regular old 9-to-5 average Joe. So they gonna put up with the nonsense. It's the same boat a lot of these niggas is in. A lot of these celebrities and all that. Hey, we being mistreated. They taking away from the creativity. They don't promote niggas that are creative anymore. They promote niggas that are dumb because you're easier to control. And now it's showing in the music. Hip hop is dying because, you know, the hip hop artists that really got something to say and really got something with substance, they not gonna promote you. But the nigga that come on here and nigga, Swiss cheesed up the whole block. You can barely understand what the nigga saying. That nigga, oh yeah, you going mainstream. You know what I'm saying? The nigga with no direction, the nigga with no father, you know what I'm saying? The nigga out here gang banging. Oh yeah, we gonna promote you. But any nigga that's gonna bring something that'll make you think, we not promoting y'all no more. You know, it was a time where they did. But music has a lot of power, bro, and they see that. So now they're not promoting that anymore. Only low vibrational shit. And they see it selling, bro. You know? But as long as people continue to support it, they're going to continue to push it out, bro. As long as people continue to support this garbage music, they're going to continue to put out this trash. And it's a lot of these artists, bro, they have a lot more potential, you know, but their creativity has been stripped because now they got somebody saying like, oh, you got to make this song or we need this type of hit or, you know, telling them certain lyrics and shit they got to rap, you know. The game has been twisted. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. I've talked way longer than I wanted to. But yeah, man, that's just the thing, bro. Like, I think we need segregation again, bro. Like, real talk. I think we really as a people got to get broken down and built back up, bro. That's the only way, bro. You got to break us down and build us back up, bro. I think that's what God gonna have to do, bro. That's the only way he gonna heal us, bro. Because as long as we got this money, as long as these jobs paying us this money, as long as the NFL paying niggas this money, NBA paying niggas this money, these movie companies paying niggas this money, these rap labels paying these niggas this money, giving these niggas these loans for real. You know, as long as these single mothers can continue to collect child support and collect food stamps, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't gonna want to break free, you know? You know, it was a lot of niggas on the slave plantation talking about breaking free, and it was slaves that went and told old master, hey, folks talking about breaking free, you need to go do something to him, or I heard they was plotting. It was your own fellow slave. Same way in this world, it'll be your own fellow slave that'll come after the brother that'll be like, hey man, we gotta start doing things differently. They're like, oh, wait a minute, doing things differently. Shit, the way I've been doing things that made me a lot of money, nigga. I don't know what you talking about, nigga. But you ain't finna come mess up my money, nigga. About this whole, we need to come together and we need to take control. Nigga, I'm a proud slave. Uncle Ruckus type nigga. Folks from Django, I forget his name. Samuel L. Jackson from Django. Them type of niggas. Like, hey, I'm in the house. I'm getting all the perks, all the benefits. Shit, I don't give a damn about y'all niggas in the field. Y'all some peasants anyway, nigga. Y'all ain't shit anyway. It'll be your own people bringing you down, nigga. Nigga, who are you to ask? Nigga, who are you to want to own something, nigga? Niggas ain't never owned nothing, nigga. You better be happy with what the white man giving you. It gonna be your own people, bro, and that's the problem. That's why it got to get broken down. You got to take the money away from the gatekeepers, all right? As long as the gatekeepers got money, this shit gonna continue to go, cause nigga, money talks, nigga. The gatekeeper, all they gotta do is, hey, you know what I'm saying? Put a little bounty on the nigga head. Hey, this nigga been talking crazy, bro. I give you 50 bands, bro. Make that nigga disappear, bro. I bet that nigga disappear real within a week, nigga. Within a week. You know, so as long as we got these gatekeepers helping this thing continue on to go on, and you know what I'm saying, unaliving the people that, you know what I'm saying, may threaten your kingdom, may threaten your money. You feel me? As long as you proud being a slave, you good. You don't ever want to be master. You don't never want to be master. You don't never want to have your own plantation, your own land, your own shit. As long as you happy with eating old master food. Because you know what master gave the slaves. You know how we started eating chitlins and pig feet and all that shit. Pork and all that. That was the food that master didn't want to eat. See, master would give you the leftovers of what they ain't want to eat. Kind of like a dog. You give the dog the food that you ain't finished or the food that you ain't want to eat. That's how master do the slaves. That's how we started eating this garbage. But maybe I done got too deep for this one, bro. But closing point. Oh, it's getting hot, man. It's about that time of year. Closing point. We all slaves, brother. I'm going to continue to tell y'all until it clicks one day. and tell the things that I'm saying for those who listen, for however long you listen. One day you're gonna be skimming through the video, or you're gonna be listening through the video, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what did he just say? And maybe it'll click. Some of y'all, it ain't never gonna click, you know. But I'm preaching for those who maybe one day it's gonna click for you, and you're gonna start to understand what's going on, and you're gonna understand what we gotta do and what's more important. One day niggas is gonna understand money ain't everything, bro. Right now, to niggas, money is everything. Money, 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 money. And then you get money and you don't know what to do with it. I thought money was everything. Money is everything, but you get money and you go broke just like that. Cause nigga, you don't know what to do with it, bro. You don't know the importance of it. You don't know nothing about building. See, as people, as black people, we gotta get back to building a community, bro. Running by a code. That's why I think segregation would be the best thing for us. A lot of people are scared of something like that happening again. I think that'd be the best thing for us. I think us losing things, and because it says those that finish last will finish first, bro. You know. So I feel like it's gonna be a time where we gotta get broken down. We gotta be in last place. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? We gotta be in that desperate place to where we have to work together. Where if we don't work together, we might get unalived out here. And until we get back to that point, bro, niggas is gonna be too selfish to build anything with niggas, bro. Niggas is gonna continue to sell out and promote these agendas. You notice they give niggas the same roles, bro. We don't get certain roles, bro. Look at the majority of roles they give our women, bro. So-called black woman, bro. You always got to be a 304 in these movies, bro. You always got to, especially nowadays, you got to be dressed damn near butt naked to get in these movies, bro. Look at how they portray the white woman in a lot of these movies compared to how they portray the black woman. I'm not saying it's always that way, but the majority, the mainstream. Look at how they portray niggas. We always get the same role, the hood role. It's always a hood movie. Same roles. Game banging, all this, that, shooting up, robbing this, robbing that. Or they'll give us some trauma movie about how about the slave days, or about how some black dude got, you know what I'm saying? There's always some trauma. Black people, all we get is trauma-based movies. That's all we get, man. Sinners, another trauma-based movies. And black people love them movies. Folks like, yeah, Sinners, that's a great movie. Hey, Sinners may be a great movie. I ain't seen it yet. But from what I'm hearing, it's another trauma-based movie, bro. That's what gets our people going. Trauma, bro. That's all we know. It's trauma. That's why we gravitate towards the hip-hop niggas. Niggas from the hood. Crying on the beat. You know what I'm saying? I miss my homie. I miss this. I miss that. We gravitate towards the trauma so it can comfort us and make us feel better. But we don't gravitate towards the high-level thinkers, bro. We don't gravitate towards the niggas that's thinking outside the box and trying to do things differently. No, them niggas weird. No, them niggas this. No, y'all actually unalive those type of niggas. Malcolm X type of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Them type of niggas gotta go. Them type of niggas gotta get shadow banned. Them type of niggas don't get invited to the party, right? So as long as we like this, bro, as long as we continuing to sell out, bro, these sports is going to continue to exploit us, continue to manipulate the game. The NBA is going to continue to manipulate the game. They don't want as many niggas around in the league, bro. You think these white billionaires want their kids growing up with LeBron James and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson posters on their wall? No, man, that's not how they want it to go down, bro. With their vision, they want these kids. They want you looking up to a Nikola Jokic and a Luka Doncic. And I ain't got no problem with them players. I ain't got no problem with making it competitive and fair where everyone can compete. My problem is when you purposely change the rules to make it harder for black players, bro. Now, black players still going to dominate because we got skilled athletes, bro. But it's like certain players are a shell of themselves because you got these analytical nerds telling them, no, like, you got to play a different type of way, bro. You got these people in their ear telling them how they should play when the game is simple, bro. They done overcomplicated the game. The game is simple, bro. Play to the strengths of your players. Even the NFL, bro, how they getting rid of the running quarterback, how they making the quarterback stay in the pocket more, and this, that, and the third. And I feel like it's a good and a bad thing, but here's the thing, bro. A running quarterback is so dynamic, bro. It literally breaks the defense. You just gotta run smart with the quarterback. Kind of like how they doing decent with Lamar Jackson. I think Cam Newton, they ran him into the ground. They shortened his career. Just he was basically a running back quarterback for the most part. But he could throw though. But here's the thing, bro. I could talk all day about these things. Y'all, hey, podcast coming one day, bro. Here's the thing, man. They're going to continue to manipulate the leagues and all this and change these rules to benefit players or their complexion. You know what I'm saying? So bro, it's like if you owned a store. Think about it like this. You owned a family store and you hired niggas, but the majority of your staff is your family, but you hired niggas to do the dirty work, right? You hired niggas to come in there and mop the floors and clean the grills and clean off the tables and wash the dishes. You know what I'm saying? You hired niggas to do all the dirty work, right? While y'all just a waitress or y'all just take orders. The niggas doing all the work. The niggas in the kitchen cooking, all that. Y'all doing it, and y'all people doing these shit. It's like if you did that, and now all of a sudden, these niggas like, wait a minute. We mop the floors. We cook the food. We clean the tables. We basically do everything. All y'all do is bring the food that we done cooked. So shit, we damn near running this shit. Shit, I want to serve the food too. Like they start trying to take over your business. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna give these niggas positions within your business and eventually they take over the business and now the business is theirs? Or are you gonna sabotage them? So your business can carry on. Some people may be, hey, you may be super righteous and you may be like, hey, I'm gonna just give up my business, my money, this, that, and the third. But in reality, what you gonna do? You gonna sabotage them niggas. You gonna be like, hell no, this our shit, nigga. Nigga, I hired you to clean the floors, nigga, mop the floors, nigga, clean the tables, nigga, clean the toilet, nigga, clean the sink, nigga, cook that food, nigga, clean that grill, nigga, and that shit better be juicy and got plenty of spices and flavors, niggas. What we hired you for, nigga. But nigga, when it comes to running this register, nigga, when it comes to talking to these patients, no, y'all background dancers, nigga. Y'all not the main event. You feel me? Y'all not the main event, nigga. Y'all the background dancers, nigga. So go on in the background and dance. And if you want to be the main event, nigga, you got to go somewhere else. That's how they gonna do it. And that's how they did Shador, man. Nigga, we brought you here to do the dirty work. You here to come on the field and do this. You not here to do what we do. You not here to outshine what we do. No, nigga, know your place, or we gonna take that place away from you. That's how they gonna continue to do us, bro. Until we start gravitating towards our own shit. Until we start gravitating towards our own shit, that's how they gonna do us, bro. We gonna always be a slave, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. It done got way too long. I was real passionate about that topic this morning for whatever reason. But I love y'all, man. I'm over here sweating bullets in this car. Hopefully I can get this uploaded before I go to work. If not, it'll get uploaded sometime tonight or maybe early tomorrow. We'll see. But peace.